Breathnach, thank you for joining me. So this week I've been researching the ego and what the ego is and how we can use it to improve our emotional stability and make us more empowered and stronger. So I've been reading a lot and watching a lot of other YouTube videos and just getting an idea of what the ego actually is. And to be honest, I didn't actually really know after this week what it was. And it was quite confusing. I still didn't really grasp exactly what the ego was. So what I kind of took a lot of different bits of information, and eventually it became clear to me kind of how I grasp it and how I can apply it to my life. So really it's about what I want to do and to help us kind of grow and rebuild after we've gone through a breakup, is to change the ego and live as our true selves. So the idea and the concept is that we all have a basic instinct, an ID, and then we have a super ego, which is what we perceive to be the best version of ourselves, and in between there lays the ego. So this is kind of Freud's take on this. It would be an idea, if you want to get more into kind of the psychology of it, to read a book on Freud and see how and where the ego actually comes from in the first place. So with that, the ego mind, this is how I kind of understand it for myself. The ego mind comes from a place of fear, because it's trying to protect us, and it's trying to survive and help us survive. So it was born out of fear. So if you kind of hear those thoughts sometimes and you think it's yourself, and it may be, don't go to that party, or you don't go to the gym today, just stay in bed and you've done enough now, and you kind of hear those thoughts sometimes and you think, oh, that's myself, because I can make a decision. Where actually, when you become more self-aware and you understand what the ego is, you'll realise that is the ego telling you and trying to stop you from being productive and doing these things, because it's acting from a fearful state. As you become more self-aware, you'll start to hear those voices, and the idea is to start to change them and challenge them so that you can start to live your true self. So if you're a bit like you're not really sure what I'm talking about, bear with me, because I'm going to go through the different parts and hopefully it will become clear, because I kind of struggled with the research this week that I've been doing. So okay, so let's go through the emotions. So the ego emotions are kind of low vibrational, negative emotions, as you were. So we're thinking jealousy, anger, anything that's the opposite of kind of self-love. So any kind of negative based emotion and fear that you can think of would be ego based. And then when you're presenting yourself as your true self and you're wanting to get more in tune with your true self, then that would be the opposite of those emotions. So it would be self-love, and it would be unconditional love, and it would be kind of the opposite of all the other emotions. What I'll do is put a list of each emotion, just so you kind of got an idea of what those are. So with that, as we're going back to the ego in our minds and this idea of what we believe we are and the mask that we have on, so it's more kind of, it does come from a place of fear, which is kind of the negative self-talk, which I think is coming from the ego. That's what I've understood it as. So if we can be aware when these negative, I wouldn't say voices, but we've all got a subconscious, and you get these kind of, even though your body's okay and you feel like you can do things, you sometimes get this self-doubt, and I think it's kind of being aware of what is the ego telling us and kind of quietening that down and challenging that and coming in and saying, no, actually I'm fine, I'm going to go to the gym today. No, actually I'm fine, I'm going to go to that party. Because you do find that the more you're aware of it, the more you're here and you'll think, no, that's just coming from a place of fear, and it's actually holding me back from doing what I want to do, so I'm going to do it anyway, and kind of laugh in the face of it. So that's the kind of idea that I've been kind of working on, and hopefully it's going to help you guys, and we can try this out together really and just see where it gets us, and kind of just adapt it really. So how do we kind of live our true selves? So it would be raising self-worth, valuing yourself, not having expectations. So if you're kind of thinking of the outcome rather than enjoying the actual process and the journey of life, or any activities that you're doing, or any kind of people that you're with, if we're kind of looking at the outcome and expecting to have expectations, that is ego based as well, which I thought was quite interesting. So if we kind of do something and just enjoy it for what it is without expecting anything from it or expecting anything from somebody, and that is a way to kind of tune into your true self as well. So yeah, and another part of it is acceptance. So it just accepting where you are, accepting things like the end of a relationship, trusting in the process and the journey and not focusing on the outcome. Then we're aligning with our true selves, rather than coming from a fearful state. I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life, I'm never going to meet anybody. This would be the ego self, as opposed to the opposite of that, where we're coming from a place of high value and self-love. And you can start to see now the difference in what it's going to make when you're starting to become emotionally stronger and you're wanting to rebuild and feel just a better person really, and more in tune with yourself. So yeah, it's being aware and being conscious of these thoughts that are coming in, and this is why meditation deals with that and helps with that. And I always thought meditation, I kind of understand it a bit more now as to what it's trying to do. It's trying to be still and hear those messages that are coming in. I mean, I'm not really into meditation that much myself. It would be something I would, possibly like to get into. I am going to a beginner's class soon. So that's kind of when I thought about that concept and being aware and being conscious of it, I did think, well, that's what meditation would help with. So that would kind of strengthen that as well. So I guess when you're living your purpose and you're helping other people for no kind of status, kind of having a status of helping people. So if you kind of just do something because you enjoy it rather than getting something out of it for yourself, that can be hard to do. But that's another way to just kind of not come from the ego. Okay, and a couple of other things are stop comparing ourselves, stop caring what other people think, and just kind of having subconscious limiting beliefs as well. So, I'll never be able to do that, or it's also the negative part. So when we think about positive talk and positive self-talk, I guess that is being aligned to your true self. Rather than the ego self. So the ego is still important, we can't get rid of it and we still have to live with it, but if we can be aware of it and realise when it is the ego being fearful, then we can start to work with that and challenge it, and I don't know, maybe through meditation. I'm not sure what the possibilities are. That's something, that's another video, and it's something that we'd have to go into further. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to you guys and just see how we can apply that as we're going through rebuilding our lives after a breakup, and how we can get in tune with our true selves. So I hope that that makes a bit more sense. Of course, there's loads of videos and books out there about the ego, and that's kind of, over the week, that's what I've gathered, and that's how I've understood exactly kind of what it is. So yeah, thank you so much for coming back and listening. Thank you for my subscribers. I think there's 4 now, so you know, as they say, if you can reach 1 person, then that's great. So thanks guys, and check out the Instagram page and subscribe if you can, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.